Let's turn our attention now to creating triggers. Now, before we get into the syntax of how to actually create the triggers, there are a couple little things that we want to discuss as far as the logic goes. First of all, inside of a trigger, we have two special tables, inserted and deleted. Now, if you've already taken a look at the advanced data modification lesson where we discussed the output keyword, you're already familiar with inserted and deleted. They behave the exact same way there that they do here. That inserted will give me access to any brand new data, and this would be for an insert or for an update statement. While on the flip side, the deleted table will give me access to the old data, so whatever it is that we modified this away from. The other thing that you want to consider doing, in fact, you should basically always do it, with a trigger is to set no count to be on. Now, set no count on is going to suppress that number of rows affected. And what's important about doing that inside of a trigger is that remember what's going to happen is that the user will issue a statement, and then your trigger is going to do something, and quite frequently your trigger is going to wind up making another modification. So now what will wind up happening is that the user will get a response back saying something like 2 rows affected, and then 2 rows affected. That's not really what I want. So what I can do is I can suppress that from the trigger by setting the no count to be on. We can create or alter triggers by using the syntax that you see here. The way that it works is we start off with create or alter. Now fortunately, after that, if you're doing a create or an alter, the rest of the syntax does not change. Then what we're going to do is we're going to specify the keyword trigger, which will of course create a trigger, and then we're going to give it a good name. Then we specify on, and then either the table or the view that we want this trigger to be associated with. We'll say after or instead of, if we want an after or an instead of trigger. And then we can associate this with insert, updates, or deletes. And if we want to specify multiple, we can do that by just simply separating them by commas. Then we say as, begin, and then all of our logic. Now, if we want to get rid of a trigger, all we have to do is just simply say drop, trigger, and then the name.